Hey guys, it's Bree Empowered and welcome back to my channel. I say that like like I haven't been going for some time now, but that is not the topic of discussion today. I've been looking on the internet and I see that there are a lot of talks about Maverick City and their performances. So I'm like, I'm gonna sit this one out, but I start seeing more videos and I saw the full performances for both BT and the Grammys. And I'm like, I can't sit this one out just as a believer. So first off, I want to say that this is not a bash Maverick City video. I am a big Maverick City fan. I am. I listen to them. I love their album. They came here to Atlanta. I even went, my family and we even went to, Kirk Franklin was there. I know they had that album out. So I went, I enjoyed it. It was fine. But I think this here is something different for me. And I'm like, I got to join in here. I can't just sit back and just, not say anything here. So first off, I want to say there were some similarities in the performances, and I don't want to downplay it at all, but I see that both of them were tributes with the BT, the tribute there. I want to say it was his late ex-wife, and just some more people there, but it was definitely a tribute. So I saw the similarities there, even with the one with the Grammys with Quavo. It was definitely a tribute, but I want to say the one with the BET, it was not, they're both bad. I'm just going to say it just was not, it did not uphold a Christ image. But I want to say with this one here with the BET, it's more, tribute. Grammys. I want to say when I first heard about this, my heart dropped. But seeing it drops even more. So this was a tribute to Takeoff. First off, I want to say rest in peace to him. That was a very misfortunate, I think it was a misfortunate accident. It just, too soon. So I want to say that for sure. And I want to say that it was very nice of them to allow him to, do a tribute to him. But I want to say we have to be careful, just as Christians and Christian artists, just because they are both tributes, they're both mentioning God, they're mentioning heavens, that does not make them gospel songs, and it does not make them to be songs that are pushing God's agenda forward. This song here, and this is the one that I have the most problems with. It speaks about smoking blunts, when I see you again, and there was just so many secular and just ungodly things. And I think just for Maverick City to be a part of that was, for me, it was a little disappointing because I don't know the full story behind Dante and why they parted ways with him. But I did recently see the video and he looks like he's doing good. He looks like he's doing really good. He looks like he, just went into a place with God, and he seems even more refreshed, like he has that vision. And I always say that you have to go into the wilderness with God in order to see his vision. It's okay to have sight, but the sight is just only surface level. Sometimes we have to go up higher and meet God in that wilderness and get our own vision. That way, when we come back down, we have that vision, and the sight that we see at surface level, we're just not living by that. We have the vision in it, and it came from God himself. But I say all that to say that I hope that, them parting ways with him was not due to the things that he did. I'm hearing that he did something similar. And, I don't know the full story, but I'm hoping it's not the same thing for them to turn around and do the same thing. But I want to say, I don't agree with the performance at all. I think that, just the type of song it was, I'm the kind of person to where, I'm that Christian that I believe just because you sing hip hop, I don't think you can't come over and sing a gospel song. I don't believe that. I think God can work through any of us. That's just what it is. He loves all of us. He can work through any of us. God can work through a child. Um, but I do believe that there is something wrong when you have a hip hop artist singing secular music, making so many ungodly references, and then you have these gospel artists that are a part of that. That's just a no. It's a no go for me. So then we go and I saw this video of Kirk Franklin. So, I didn't expect anything different from him. Especially with the whole thing with him cursing with his son. I and I don't want to discredit what he's done. He's done a lot for gospel music, back in the day, whatever. But, I think as Christians, we have to stand up with just some of these things. Just because these are influencers, these are celebrities, it does not mean that it is okay. And I'm a fan of Maverick City, but I'm a bigger fan. I'm more of a Jesus follower than I am a Maverick City fan. So he's made some points here. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. I just, it was, to me, I didn't agree with it, and for me it kind of felt like a justification. And I looked at the comments, and a lot of people agree with that, and they felt the same way about this.
To do music with Maverick City and to do this joint album that we did together, and it was nominated in the categories, and it was it was a kind night. It was a kind night, and it was also for me a very challenging thing to be able to think through when I think about just the state of this community that I love. And it came to me very strongly when I was at the main show and I was watching the tribute to hip hop and hip hop turning 50, and watching the energy in the room. And the truth is, what I even saw there, it's like there's no other genre on this planet that could have gotten that whole arena up on their feet rocking like that. I mean, you could have, last night you should have been in the building. No matter what race you were, no matter what genre music you love, black music, hip hop music had everybody in the room up on their feet. When Public Enemy came through the door, when LL Cool J stepped on stage, when Salt-N-Pepa stepped on stage, when Queen Latifah came out, when Rakim.
And I think that's the thing. This may be an unpopular opinion, but like I said, I'm more of a Jesus follower than I am of a fan of anything else. And I am in this world, but I'm not of this world. I'm a Christian. I don't listen to secular music. I probably couldn't name a hip hop or R&B song right now. That's just me. I don't listen to that music. I can only imagine, it would just make me feel very convicted, because it completely goes against, who God is and the life that we are supposed to live. And, I think just saying, black music, is a big night for black artists, of course, it's Black History Month. Let's just it is. And I celebrate it to the end. I even have my house decorated with like decor outside. But let's stop providing these justifications. That has nothing to do with mixing lightness and darkness. It doesn't. I mean, we could have had a very holy, wholesome performance from Maverick City and other artists or whatever else. They could have came out, had their own performance, whatever, gospel music on a black stage. That could have been black music.
Came out. When Rakim came out, it was just a moment. And so what I thought to myself was, I felt sad for the genre that I'm in. It's because gospel music is the foundation of Americana. It is gospel, blues, and jazz are the original sounds of American music. And gospel, blues, and jazz When was the last time you bought a jazz album? When's the last time you bought a blues album? And slowly, this conversation about a genre of music that has, and the difficulty with gospel music has inspired so many people that we see and experience now. Chris Brown sang in the kids' choir. I mean, Usher sang in the kids' choir. Justin Timberlake sang in the choir. Mariah sang in the choir. Pharrell was inspired by, music at his Pentecostal family's church.
And I think I agree with that. There's so many people that has been inspired by gospel music. But we have to ask ourselves, why were they inspired? What made them be inspired about the gospel music? What were those gospel artists doing at that time that inspired? What was happening in the church at that time that inspired them? Because I grew up in a holiness church and I was really inspired because I saw those people live their lives the same way on Sunday, just as they did on a Friday and a Saturday. There was just no kind of Sunday, I'm getting up, I'm holy, I'm shouting, I'm in the church and of God. But just last night, I was off somewhere drinking, drunk and hungover and cussing like a sailor. That's just, we got to get back to our roots. We got to get back to holiness. There's just no way around that. God was holy. The word speaks to that. We got to get back to that.
Timberland. I mean, so you have all of this experience coming from black gospel music, but yet there's this disconnect that I can be honest and tell you that's breaking my heart. We used to have Bobby Jones. You could see your favorite gospel artist on Bobby Jones. You could see your favorite gospel artist on Celebration of Gospel. And, you could see your favorite gospel artists in different outlets. And now, because the world has changed, it's not just the music, it's the world has no longer as much of an interest in the conversation we're having. And so...
And that's true. I mean, we're dealing with we're dealing with a different world now. Different people, that's definitely true. But I think just because we're dealing with different times and these are different people, that does not call for compromise. We have to ask ourselves, why are people no longer as interested in gospel music? Why are people no longer just coming forward and just, believing in a church or whatever? We have to ask ourselves why. Is it how we are living? Is it how we are portraying ourselves? We have to ask ourselves that. I don't think the resolution to that is pulling people. Obviously, you have to be creative. You have to reach different audiences and kind of change, as things are changing. But when I say change, I'm meaning your approach. I'm not meaning changing who you are and the God that you are serving, because he is the same today as he was yesterday, the day before that. He's going to be the same tomorrow. He's not going to be changing. And he is doing things on a daily that is drawing new people. Why must we see that it's necessary for us to compromise and live just as people of the world are living, just so we can come and draw them? Because as far as I remember, older gospel artists, just the older saints, they did not have to do that. You can draw people just from being godly, just from being holy and living in the light and, praying for them and, just telling them about God's glory and what he's done in your life. You don't have to compromise. I just don't think that's a requirement. You don't have to compromise. You don't. Because we were not made to live how people of the world are living. God loves all of us. He does. But you live in a way that can draw somebody else. We can't not, and we got to stop doing this. I've said that. Just because these are celebrities, we have to stop accepting this and saying that it is okay. Just because they are uninterested, whatever, let's figure it out. And I know it's easier said than done. I'm an IT professional. I'm not a gospel artist. So I know it's easier said than done, but I know, it's not that hard. We're not there, and I don't think we will ever be to the point to where we will sit and say they're uninterested, so let's compromise. Let's get on the same stage with them as they are talking about just secular things and mentioning things that are ungodly. Because at that point, we are not living in our truth. We're not. We're hypocrites.
When you have fewer doors, you begin to have more tension within the community. It's because there's fewer outlets. And I am clear on this. Oh, Sunday best. We used to have Sunday best. I am clear on this, and I want you to know that I'm going to say this right now. I am clear on this. There are Grammys that I have won that I did not deserve. There are Grammys in my career that I have won.
Yeah, so I'm just going to, pause in there, but basically you can go and look at the full thing yourself. He didn't make the situation any better. I want to say that, first off, congratulations to Maverick. They won Grammys, and I want to say I read somewhere to where they won, between them and Beyonce, it was just the most Grammys. But I want to say they did go on stage. I want to say it was Brandon. They did acknowledge Christ, and stuff like that is fine. They did acknowledge Christ in a room full of just different musicians and different genres. So, acknowledging him, that was big there. But, that does not undo what was done in that performance. And that's just all I have to say about it. This is not a bash Maverick, because there are definitely some videos out there that some people have really given them the business. And I think you can't sit and say, oh, they're being sensitive and this and the other Christians, because they, just like you have your opinion, they have their opinion. And there's some of us that are actually out here living in light. We are not living double lives. We are not out here listening to secular music, living ungodly lives and, portraying to be Christians. That's not a walk with Christ. And then, we have to be careful with judging. I want to end off with this. Maybe we can just pray for our gospel music, pray for our gospel artists, pray for the church. And just pray that, God will give us wisdom. That's the thing about God. He will give us wisdom and show us. And if we are connected to him, we will be able to get an answer. I mean, he has the answer. He's just waiting on the call. So the answer is there, but I don't think compromise is the answer. I know that compromise is not the answer, because the Bible speaks to that. But I want to end it here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Go and look into it yourself. Just maybe leave a comment on what you think. Even if you disagree, I want to hear. If you agree, less. We gotta stop sitting back and accepting stuff like this, because it's not Christ-like. But thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and be sure to hit a like on this video if you liked it. Once again, comment whether you agree or not. Shoot me a comment on what are your opinions about this. And then subscribe. I think I'm going to be making this more of a thing to where I start doing more. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.